So guys, I've got a little surprise with the return of Bloody Harvest. I think it's time we do it. This is going to be super outdated eventually. I'm going to get a bunch of comments hating on me for even posting it. But we're doing it now, chat. We are going to be all together ranking every expansion, every main expansion in the Borderlands franchise, boys. We've got everything from Digistruct Peak to the return of Bloody Harvest and the first Bloody Harvest. Revenge of the Cartels is in here. We got the Headhunters. Boys, I always do this, chat. Look where you're going. You guys are going right here so that everyone, when they watch this, can see what you're saying, chat. This is all for you guys. This is a community. This is me and you boys ranking every expansion. Alright, boys. Starting off with the first expansion. The Hollow Dome Onslaught. So this was the level cap increase in the pre-sequel. What do we think, chat? I know not enough people played it. I played it once. And I want to say right now... No, don't say Holodomes. I see your message. You're alright. Guys, look, you're jumping to conclusions. Let me say this. What I did play of Holodome, I enjoyed. And I wanted to go back and do more of it. But I don't like the aesthetic. The aesthetic is very, very Iridian. It's just very pre-sequel-y. It was quite... Guys, it introduced new weapons too. Yeah, we can move it down later as well. I'm going to put it in C tier. I think for what it is and what it introduced with the new levels and more weapons, I think it deserves a C tier placement. Okay, next up, boys, we've actually got a full-on DLC. Bounty of Blood for Borderlands 3. What are we thinking, chat? Where does Bounty of Blood deserve to go? A tier? A tier? S? Oh my god, we're going high. A tier? A tier. I think A tier, yeah. So I've kind of got an unwritten rule, chat. I don't think anything that doesn't have a raid boss deserves to go in S tier. I know that might be a risky decision. I might get a little bit of flack for that. But I think the majority of the DLCs which didn't introduce a raid boss don't deserve S tier. A tier? Okay, we're going to put it A tier. We're putting it into A tier, chat. That's where it's going. Okay, there we go. It's going into A tier. Next up, boy. Stop. I can't even say it. I can't even say it. Guardian Takedown. Guardian Takedown. Where does it go, lad? Chat, I just want to say, before Guardian Breach came out, only the real ones remember this. EpicNNG tragically made the mistake of predicting that Takedown at the Guardian Breach was going to be the best content to date. Oh, how wrong I was. I mean, I would rather run Digistruct Peak, chat. That's all I'm gonna leave it at. Okay, listen. Chat, you're gonna hate me for this, but I don't think it's F tier. I don't think it's F tier, chat. I think it's E tier, but I wouldn't call this bottom of the barrel content. It was free content, and the bosses, while they are annoying, they're unique. I don't think it deserves F tier. I'm gonna put it in E tier. It's definitely fucking horrid content, but it's not Underdome levels of horrid. Okay, boys, next up is the Psycho Krieg Dlc, chat. The Psycho Krieg Dlc. This is DLC 4. What do we think? S tier from Crypto. S tier. We got, oh my god. Okay, B tier. Okay, so all B. Oh my god, I'm seeing a lot of Bs. There's like 1 or 2 amazing guns. And on top of that, the side missions are just so boring. Like, there's maybe 1 or 2 amazing side missions. The rest of them are just so bad. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. I either want it behind Bounty of Blood or in B tier. DLC 4 is A tier. You're gonna, some people are gonna hate me for this. I'm gonna put it in B tier. I'm not saying it's a bad DLC. I'm just saying it missed way too many good opportunities. And that's why I'm putting it in B tier. Next up is Bloody Harvest. But this isn't Borderlands 3 Bloody Harvest, chat. This is Borderlands 2 Bloody Harvest. This was a headhunter pack in Borderlands 2. Where we get Undead TK, we get to fight Jack-O-Lantern, we get to fight the Headless guy. I enjoyed this DLC. It was one of the better headhunters. I would even go as far as saying it was up there with the Snowman DLC. I think it's worthy of B tier, chat. I don't think we should put it in C tier. It was better than Holodome. It was better than Holodome. I think it deserves to go in front of Holodome. I do agree that I don't think it's on the same level as the Krieg DLC. But I think it should go in front of Holodome. There was no reason to play through... Okay, let me say this. The loot wasn't that great. But they literally had one of the most convoluted Easter eggs in the game. Where you had to go and get all the TVs, light up all the things, and then Jacques would come out of the tomb. And he had like a, wasn't it like a high chance to drop the pyrophobia? I honestly think Bloody Harvest in BO2 is one of the better headhunters. I think it deserves to go in top tier C. Okay, next up, chat, is the raid on Digistruct Peak. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. You're probably going to F tier it straight away. I don't think it deserves to be F'd. I don't think it deserves F tier. I don't think... Okay, there we go. I'm happy with what I'm seeing in chat. I don't think it deserves anywhere near F tier. I know the majority of players hated Digistruct Peak. And I know, yeah, you're right. It is very repetitive. But you've got to understand... that this added so much replayability to BO2 when it dropped. It was fucking insane. If you was here, guys, one's in chat if you was playing BO2 when they dropped this. Tell everyone how much replayability this added at the time. But the Digistruct Peak literally gives so much endgame content. And you don't even have to go to OP8 if you don't want to. You can stay on OP2, you can stay on OP3. I know so many people want to see this in F tier, but honestly, chat, I think it's top tier C. Alright, boys, next up, the Lilith Fight for Sanctuary DLC. Chat, A tier. It's A tier. It's A tier DLC. It's top tier A. It's you know what? You know what? Yeah, I'm teetering on putting it on S. I kind of want to put it in S. Oh, I kind of want to put it in S. Oh, I really want to put it in S. I just thought about the Uranus farm. And it has a raid boss, and it has a new rarity, and it has new skins, and it gives farewell to Scooter. It's going in S tier. It's S tier DLC. It's S tier. It's literally S tier. I know OP10 was a mess, but it's S tier. It literally added so much. It gave us a use for the friendship charm. It's an S tier DLC. I don't care, chat. We got a unicorn firing gun. It's an S tier DLC. I think it's actually a top tier DLC. Okay, you know what else I think is an S tier DLC? Claptastic Voyage. What a fucking masterpiece. I love this DLC. This DLC is insanely good. If you've never played Claptastic Voyage, you are missing out. This is easily in the top 3 DLCs. It's such a fucking insanely good DLC. I feel bad if you haven't played it. I don't think it's Lilith DLC, but I think it's behind it. Top tier. It's a top tier DLC. I don't even think we have to debate this. If I could put it right here with Lilith tier, like if they could share the #1 spot, I'd put it there. So next up, we have our first Borderlands 1 DLC. This is Borderlands New Robot Revolution, the Claptrap DLC from Borderlands 1. I like the DLC. I really like the DLC. I think it's a B tier DLC. Like, this is top tier endgame content. It is top tier endgame content. I do think it deserves to be up there too. Okay, chat. We've got Bloody Harvest Returns, aka the normal Bloody Harvest, because it's literally the same. This is Borderlands 3's Bloody Harvest. What do we think, chat? The normal Bloody Harvest DLC? I think it's A tier. I think it's A tier. I think it's A tier, and hear me out. Hear me out, chat. Just let me finish here. I think the content is A tier. However, the fact that it's not a headhunter, I think it's B tier. And I think it's low B tier. If they let us buy this and play it whenever we want, this is easily an A tier headhunter. Mid-C, I don't think it's mid-C. Really? Okay, no, I agree. I actually do agree with that. I'll put it in front of Borderlands 2's Bloody Harvest. Yeah, no, I agree. I do agree with that. If Gearbox made this a purchasable DLC for us to just do whenever we want, I could vouch it into A. But they haven't done that. It's a missed opportunity. Okay, next up is another Borderlands 1 DLC. We got 2 coming up here. The first one is the Dr. Ned DLC. This DLC is boring. This is a boring DLC, chat. Yeah, I don't know, like, the Ned DLC is just... It's boring, chat. It's so boring. I think we found our first D tier. It's not a fun DLC to run through. It's dark, it's gloomy, it's boring. The zombies were cool. That was about it. It's D tier. It was a cool... Okay, let me say, the atmosphere of the DLC and the idea of the DLC was really good. I just don't think it suited the Borderlands 1 engine. Okay, chat, next up, we've got another Borderlands 1 DLC. It's the Secret Armory of General Knox. This is often regarded as one of the greatest DLCs in the franchise. I think it gets too much praise. I think it gets way too much praise. I think the DLC is only fun when you get to Mr. Shank. Anything up until Mr. Shank, I have no interest in replaying. Okay, where do we draw the line here? Because as a DLC, it's not good. But what it brought to the game, it made Borderlands 1 insanely replayable. It had more than claptraps. No, we can't put it in... You can't put it in C when it has the Armory and Kromer X and then leave claptraps in B. You can't do that. I think it deserves B tier. It wasn't a horrible DLC. It's one of the better ones in Borderlands 1. Okay, next up, boys, a Borderlands 3 DLC. Talking about missed opportunities, DLC 2, what happened? What happened with DLC 2? There was so much potential to fight a huge alien when they said we were literally going to a place where they were going to have their wedding on a vault monster. I don't think it's A tier or S tier. It was such a missed opportunity. When the honeymoon period was there, I was like, okay, this DLC is fucking insane. Easily better than Tina's. That, I really regret saying that. Oh my god, do I regret saying that. I'll admit when I was wrong. This DLC is nowhere near as Tina. I can't put it behind any of the Borderlands 1 DLCs, but I definitely don't think it's... I think it's behind DLC 4 in B tier. The Pearl, yeah, I mean, it adds the Pearl, but there's so much other stuff in the game that you could use over a Pearl. I can't put it any higher, chat. I'm sorry. I'm sticking to my guns on this one. I don't like it. Only because they missed out so much. This DLC suffers from DLC 4 syndrome. And they miss so many opportunities. Oh my goodness. I've just seen what's next, chat. It's Hammerlock's Big Game Hunt from Borderlands 2. Oh, Oh, this DLC! This DLC, it's a D tier, but you know what? It's in front of the Ned DLC because it introduced the Yellow Jacket, which is my favorite plasma caster. It had the Yellow Jacket, which is literally one of the best plasma casters in the game. And whether you like them or not, it introduced 2 raid bosses. We can't put it behind. The Twister Shotgun, the Yellow Jacket. I think, you know what? I know you're gonna hate me, chat. I know you're gonna hate me. But I don't think we can put it here if Holodome's in C. I'm gonna get so much hate for this. I swear I'm gonna get so much hate. But I think that was a good choice. Okay, next up is DLC 1, Moxie's Heist of the Handsome Jackpot. Where do we think, boys? I think A tier. Yep, A's. I'm seeing A's. Alright, I'm seeing A's across the board. Now, do we think, boys, is it better or worse than DLC 3? I think it's worse. Oh, it brings C and Dead, though. He do be right. He do be right, it do bring C and Dead. Here's the thing though, we can't just say it brings C and Dead because realistically speaking, they are in the process of changing C and Dead, so it's not as crutch. DLC 4 is better than DLC 1. I agree. I agree with that. I'm gonna put DLC 4 in A tier. I do agree. I think Heist goes top tier B. Yeah, I can agree with that. DLC 4 is better than DLC 1. There you go, chat. You finally got it. DLC 4 made it into A tier. Next up, Takedown at the Maliwan Black site. What do we think, chat? What do we think? I think this is some of the best content we've ever had. It's just so good. It just adds so much to the game. It introduced some of the best guns at the time. Wotan is legitimately one of the best raid bosses in Borderlands history. I think top A tier. I don't think it's S tier though. Chat, I know you're gonna hate me. I do agree. I agree with Indy. I think it's top tier A. It's replayable, but I don't think it's S tier. Marcus's Mercenary Day from Borderlands 2, the Headhunter, which everyone plays non-stop. D tier? Nah, get this man out of here. I think it's A tier. I don't think it's as good as everyone makes out, but it is extremely replayable. Only the OGs know that the best way to get XP for a character is to go do Snowman. Okay, next up, chat, is the Moxie Wedding Day Massacre. This DLC was fucking boring. This was so boring, dude. I just... mid D? Above Ned? No. Okay, let me ask you this, chat. I'll put this at top of D if any of you can honestly tell me the last time you went back and played this Headhunter for fun. Yeah, not fun for me. It's really not fun for me. Okay, Revenge of the Cartels. Revenge of the Cartels, chat. Oh, God, it's good. God, it is good. Oh, it's good. It's good. I think we got an S tier on our hands. So, before I put it in S tier, chat, before I put it in S tier, we're going to take something into account. We're taking something into account, chat, before it hits S tier. Do we think it deserves to be downgraded to A tier because it's a limited timed event? Should it suffer from the bloody harvest where, because it isn't a headhunter, it has to go down? Because I think, again, no, really? It's that good? Okay, alright, it's an S tier. Alright, boom, S tier. Alright, the son of Kromer X Headhunter from Borderlands 2. I think this is behind Marcus's Mercenary Day. I liked it. I liked it. I really did like it. Bringing back Kromer X was huge at the time. Low B, no. Listen. Again, I don't think enough people here understand how insane it was when they said Kromer X was coming back. This was huge fan service. Huge fan service. I think bringing Kromer X back was actually a huge play. Okay, what about this then, chat? What about this? How do we feel? Okay, how do we feel about Kromer DLC going in front of General Nox? What do we think? What do we think? Kromer DLC in front of General Nox, what do we think? Fairs? Okay. Okay, good. Okay. There it goes. I think it's deserving of that spot. Okay, Tiny T. I'm gonna save that for the end. We're saving that for the end. We're saving it for the end. I know you guys are salivating. You guys are fucking salivating. We're saving it for the end. We're saving it for the end. Son of Kromer wouldn't exist without Nox? Okay, he's got a point, chat. We'll put it behind Nox. Mr. Torg's Campaign of Carnage, chat. What do we think? I tell you what I think. That's what I think of this DLC. That's what I think of this DLC. It's so boring. It's so boring. It's a snooze fest. I think it goes like top tier C. But like, that's it, man. It's a boring DLC. It did introduce Mr. Torg. And it had Pyro Pete. It was better than Bloody Harvest. Come on, let's not be too harsh here. I'm gonna put it behind Hammerlocks. I think that's a fair spot for it. I wouldn't say any of the Bloody Harvest is better than it. Next up. Oh no. Boo. This DLC sucks ass. If you bought Moxie's... Okay, chat, can we... Show of hands in the chat. Who bought Moxie's Underdome Riot and felt ripped off? Who here wants their money back? Who feels ripped off for purchasing this? I want my money back, Gearbox. It's been 10 years. I still want my money back. Boo. This DLC is horrid. This is the worst content they've ever put out. And speaking of worst content, we have the Water Gobbler coming up next. And I'm just saying, I don't think even the Water Gobbler was as bad as this DLC. This is the worst content they've ever made. Hands down. Okay, here we go, chat. Speaking of horrid content, the Water Gobbler. The Ravenous Water Gobbler. What do we think? The Ravenous Water Gobbler, chat. What do we think? S-tip. Stop it. A-tit? Chat, get out. Get out. Let me say that I'm in the minority when I say that the Grandma Flexington side mission is actually one of the better side missions in the game. I think it was actually is quite comedically genius. But the boss is so lame. I know, I can't. It has to go top tier. It's Guardian Takedown. It's bottom of E. It's bottom of E. You know what? Fair play. We did forget the Scarlet Dlc. We did forget Scarlet Dlc. Okay, oh shit. Wait, I don't have... Oh no. Okay, here it is, chat. We forgot to do it, so we're doing it now. The Scarlet Dlc, where is it going? Where does the Scarlet Dlc belong? I think Scarlet Dlc was good. Scarlet Dlc is... I think it's one of the better ones. It gave us Master G and Hyperius. D or Los, I don't... Here's the problem, chat. Because I forgot to put it on the tier list, it has to go at the back of whatever we put it on. so it's either going low B, low C. Like, it has to go at the back. I think it's like... I think it's B tier. B. Are we saying the back of B? Do we think the back of B tier then? Okay. Okay, so again, we're gonna pretend that we never came to Tina's before. This DLC is so overrated, and I will literally argue that point with anyone in the chat. This is one of the most overrated DLCs of all time. Exactly, Crypto. The story carried it. Without the story, this is nothing. don't get this confused. I'm not saying it's a bad DLC. I'm saying it's an overrated DLC. There's a big difference. It's not a bad DLC. I really like this DLC. It's just not top tier S. I'm sorry. If you're watching on YouTube, leave your dislike. I don't care. This is not top tier S. However, it is an S tier DLC, and I won't deny that. And I do think it's better than Claptastic Voyage. And are you ready, chat? Wait for the dislikes. Everybody, I need to complete silence for this. Wait for the dislike. Lilith DLC is the best DLC in Borderlands history. And just like that, this video just got dislike bombed. I don't think the Tina DLC is the best DLC in the franchise. I think the Lilith DLC is way better than it. Way better than it. I truly believe that. I can't believe everybody thinks Tina's is the best DLC in the franchise. It blows my mind. It blows my mind that still to this day, people hold this DLC above criticism. It had some of the most horrendously boring side missions, the most disgustingly ugly locations in the DLC, the most painfully obviously rehashed characters, and I get that was the gimmick of the DLC. I get it was the gimmick of the DLC. But it just did so much that nobody pays attention to, which wasn't that great. I really think the Lilith DLC did a lot more, and I know I'm gonna get bashed for this. I know, I'm sorry, but I think the Lilith DLC is the greatest DLC in the franchise so far. But that's my list. The Scarlet DLC, I would like to put it above General Nox. I'm going to redo this tier list and add Scarlet to it. So if you're watching on YouTube, you'll find a link in the description to do your own tier list. Send it to me on Twitter at EpicNNG. And anyone in chat, if you want to do it as well, do the same thing. Thank you guys for watching. This is my list. Don't dislike the video. And have a nice day, you little bastards.